My name is Kudzai Chimanda. I'm 27 years old. I'm an artist. And this whole issue with depression, I think we need to raise awareness. Like, I have seen people suffering because of depression, but there's not enough information out there to help these people. So I feel like we need to sit down and actually talk about it. So this motivated me to want to be part of this.
Hi, my name is Nobo Benura. I'm 26 years of age. I'm a personal trainer, bodybuilder, and an entrepreneur. I think depression is a serious issue that needs to be addressed, and I also would like to share my personal experiences through this show. So, yeah.
To me, I think depression is a prolonged period of sadness. That's how I picture it. I don't know about you, but
Yes, I agree with you. Depression for me, it's somehow that prolonged feeling of sadness, like you say, but you're just feeling low, your spirits are low, you're not interested in anything, you just want to be alone. That's me when I'm depressed. I just want to be alone, I don't want to talk. Yeah, basically that's it. And I'm feeling sick as well, sick in the stomach. Yeah, that is depression for me.
so what we can then say is that depression takes more time, right, than just normal sadness.
Yeah, it does.
It goes beyond this guy hit me, so I'm now sad.
Yes.
That goes deeper. That hits you right here, like
Yes,
the heart.
I think if you have that period of sadness for something like a week, if it goes on for something like over a week, for me that is depression. You've got to seek help.
But then doesn't it then depend on the issue? Because let's say, for example, death. Yeah, it's gonna take more than a week.
Then that is some kind of grief, right? And that grief is going to lead into depression. That is basically what I think. And if it is going to be a prolonged period, like you said, it is definitely depression. It's different from, I lost my whatever phone, and then I'm sad about it, but tomorrow you're happy again.
All right.
It's just a phone. But this is prolonged now. It's grief. You keep overthinking that situation or whatever event that happened, and it turns into depression. So that's what I think depression is.
All right. So basically, it goes beyond the moment it reaches like a certain period.
Yeah.
Now we are getting to depression more than just being sad. I like the part it says that you cannot afford to be depressed.
Yeah.
But then my question is, what causes depression? This thing, I think the reason why they like try to separate Africa from the rest is because of the way things are in Africa. They call us the underdeveloped. So, what I then think is this whole issue of depression not being, it's wrong to a great extent. Well, there are many causes. What might be the European or the American reasons for depression are definitely different from our own reasons for depression. I don't know what you think about it.
I think the depression in Africa, in general, is considered as a luxury because there are a whole of other issues that are considered to be bigger than just depression. But what we are forgetting in that is that these issues that are so-called bigger are the ones that are leading to depression. So the moment that we are depressed as a nation or as a youth or whatever age group, we can't function properly. And these small issues that this depression that we're considering to be a luxury or smaller issues, they all go on to affect the bigger issues that we need to work on. So it can't be a luxury. It's a bigger issue that we need to focus on and talk about. So yes, I believe in Africa, depression is still considered as a luxury, but people are starting to break the stigma and realizing how important these issues need to be addressed. But yeah, that's what I think.
And also, what I've realized is this: the reason why people call it a luxury is because we have this belief that most of these issues can all be dealt with at the ground level.
Yes.
Like to us Africans, it's a matter of why would you want to be sad? Why would you be sad? Like there are always remedies for all these issues,
Yes.
but we forget that these things need to be discussed. We need to move now from this, it's a luxury, to get to that point where we can actually sit down, like what you just said. We need to break down the barriers that are there between them and us to some extent.
I think depression affects men more than it affects women. I'm sorry to say this, but this sounds sexist, but I think depression actually affects men more than it affects women. Let me explain. Uh, Society considers men as these macho beings that should not be showing off, showing or venting their emotions and stuff like that. They are considered to be strong, and women, on the other hand, can vent out their frustrations, their emotions, and I actually realized that venting actually helps. It might not completely help, but it helps to some extent. Now imagine this man who has been getting this anxiety, sadness, and feelings of anger and etc. Imagine and they're not venting it anyway. They just it's just festering inside. It's piling up. The pressure is piling up. This is going to kill you more than the one that is venting. So I think yeah, it does. It does affect one gender more than the other in that perspective. I don't know what you think.
For me, here's how I put it. I would say it affects them both equally, but they show it differently. For ladies, it's easy for them to let out their emotions, like you said. But then for men, and it comes back to society, it has created this person that doesn't exist. They created the perfect man, the man who never shows his emotions, who is always on top of everything. But it's because of that feeling that they suffer. So I think when now people are talking about who it affects more, it's just an issue of who shows it. So the ladies show it more than the guys, but not to say it affects the women or the men more. That's what I think. For me, when I'm feeling low, you know that there's always a reason for a certain thing to happen. So if you're just feeling low, it's one of those you need to sit down and start thinking like this thing that just happened. How is it making you feel? Like you can lose your phone. That's you feeling low. That's one thing. But you know that the moment you talk about it, you can move on from the fact of you losing a phone. But when we go to depression now, I can't be in a position whereby I'm locked in my room, I can't get out, I don't want to talk to anyone, I don't want to eat, I'm stressed over a phone. And that's like 2 weeks after the phone was stolen. I feel like it's at that moment that now I can separate the feeling of being low and the feeling of clinical depression. I feel like to me that's how I see this situation and how I see the difference.
So are you saying losing my phone is not worthy of depression?
No, I say according to me, right?
Okay,
myself,
okay.
how I picture it,
Okay.
like
Okay, I get you.
you can get over losing a phone.
You can get over
losing a phone.
Okay.
But after a week, I can't lock myself in my room. I don't want to talk to anyone. I don't want to do anything. I'm just there locked in. I don't want to talk to anyone. 2 weeks after I've lost my phone.
Just out of interest, how long can you go without your phone being in your hand? Other than from now, just now, when we're in this show.
But then here's what I'll say. It's not a reason for you to want to kill yourself.
Okay, I get it.
That's where I'm coming from with this. I think it comes back to where you are seeking your where you want your answers. Because if you just post it on your Facebook page, like your wall, you are giving. Let's say, for example, you have 3,000 friends. You just put your issue on your wall. So you just gave access. You just gave 3,000 people access to your problem. And from those 3,000, right, not everyone there cares about you. So let's say from those 3,000, you get 500 legit people who come with advices. That leaves about 2,500 people who still don't care about you. And those people really do not care if you die or if you leave. So if you post their problem, they are not going to be on your side. They will say whatever they want. So now, instead of you dealing with this issue, it's another problem altogether. You have more people that are going to shed light on an issue that was affecting you, rather than you dealing with it with less people. Now you just put it to the whole world. So I feel like social media, as it is, it has caused more harm. Like the attacks are continuously coming. Because, for example, you hear an issue of someone committing suicide because of what was said on social media. So my question then is, why do we continue seeking advice from people who don't understand your situation, and some of them don't even care about you? So then, to me, when it comes to social media, I don't get it. I don't.
You know, I actually think, I for one actually think that social media is playing a huge role in depression, because if you look at what the content that is being shared on those platforms, most of it is toxic. You know, it might be indirectly or directly toxic. There's also passive aggressive communication as well. People post their achievements. You know, people posting their achievements, and you're thinking to yourself, "Oh, what am I doing with my life?" And you know that actually aids in the depression as well. And I actually alluding